Nia.
The thing about blood is that it doesn't wash out a white marble. Nia learned this at exactly 11:47 p.m. on a Thursday, pressed against a gallery wall, by a man whose hands were still shaking not from fear, but from the effort of not killing someone 30 seconds earlier. Before we dive into this story, if you love addictive romance with danger, heat, and characters, you can't forget hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a chapter. And drop a comment below telling me, would you risk everything for someone dangerous? Let's get into it. 48 hours earlier, Nia Blackwood didn't believe in fate, soulmates, or love at first sight. She believed in good lighting, better wine, and the kind of confidence that made men stupid. Which is why she knew that walking into the Moonstone Club at 2 a.m. wearing her dead mother's vintage Dior and her own savage smile was either the best or worst decision of her life. "You're insane," her best friend Annika hissed, grabbing her arm at the velvet rope. "This place is literally owned by the Korean mob." "We could die. We're all dying, babe. Might as well look good doing it." Nia flashed her invitation, a black card with silver embossing that had appeared in her mailbox 3 days ago, with no return address, just 2 words. "You're invited." To what? No idea. From whom? Also no idea. But Nia Blackwood had not clawed her way from a Chicago South Side apartment to a Tribeca penthouse by playing it safe. At 30, she was a crisis management consultant for celebrities who'd fucked up spectacularly PR cleanup for the morally bankrupt and incredibly wealthy. Her job was making guilty people look innocent, and she was phenomenally good at it. Some called it morally gray. Nia called it paying her bills in a world that had never given her anything for free. The bouncer, 6'5", tattooed, definitely armed, scanned the card. His expression flickered. Surprise? Respect? Fair? "Ms. Blackwood," he said, stepping aside immediately. "He's been waiting." "He who?" Nia asked. The bouncer just smiled, not the good kind. Annika grabbed her hand. "Nia, I'm serious. This feels wrong. Everything fun feels wrong at first. That's how you know it's fun." Nia squeezed back. "Stay close. If I'm not out in an hour, call my lawyer and delete my browser history." Inside, the club was exactly what Nia expected. Low red lighting, champagne that cost more than most people's mortgage, beautiful people doing ugly things in dark corners. K-pop remixed with trap music pulsed through speakers that probably cost 6 figures. But everyone was staring at her. Not the usual male gaze bullshit. This was different. Nervous, like she'd walked into a tiger cage wearing a steak dress. "Why are they looking at me like I'm about to get sacrificed?" Nia muttered. "Because you might be," Annika whispered. "I'm Googling what to do if your friend gets mob murdered right now." "Miss Blackwood." A woman appeared mid-40s, sharp black suit, sharper eyes. Korean, beautiful in a way that suggested she could kill you with a dessert fork. "This way, please. And if I say no?" The woman smiled. "Then you'll miss the most interesting night of your life. Your choice." "Well, when you put it like that." Nia followed her through the club, past the VIP sections, through a door marked private, down a hallway that smelled like money and danger, and into an office that looked like it had been designed by someone who understood that power didn't need to be loud. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Manhattan. Minimal furniture. A desk that probably cost more than a car. And behind it, oh no. The man standing with his back to her, hands in his pockets, looking out at the city like he owned it. He probably did. Turned around. Min-Jae. Except she didn't know his name yet. She only knew 3 things immediately. 1. He was the most beautiful man she'd ever seen in real life. Tall, lean-muscled in a way that suggested discipline, not vanity, with a face that could sell anything from luxury watches to violent salvation. Sharp jawline, dark eyes that looked like they'd seen too much and remembered all of it. Black hair pushed back carelessly. He wore a black shirt with the sleeves rolled to his forearms, which should be illegal because his forearms looked like a Renaissance sculpture, and tailored black slacks that fit like sin. 2. He was dangerous. Not bad boy dangerous, actually dangerous. The kind of dangerous that came from having power, using it, and never apologizing. 3. She wanted him immediately, intensely, inappropriately. Girl, get it together. Nia Blackwood, he said, and his voice was ridiculous deep, smooth, with a Korean accent that wrapped around English like honey around a blade. Thank you for coming. Did I have a choice? No. He smiled, just barely, but I appreciate you pretending you did. Who are you? Kang Min-Jae, and I need your help. With what? Mob taxes? Laundering money through art galleries? Hiding bodies? She said it flippantly, but watched his face carefully. He didn't flinch. Something more complicated. Seat. I prefer to stand when strange men summon me to underground clubs at 2 a.m. Fair. He moved around the desk, leaning against it, arms crossed. Closer now. Close enough that she could smell his cologne, something expensive and woodsy, that probably had a French name she couldn't pronounce. 3 days ago, someone tried to kill me. They failed, obviously, but they left a message, a photograph. He slid a manila envelope across the desk. Nia hesitated, then opened it. Inside, a photograph of Min-Jae with a woman. White, blonde, classically beautiful in that. I summer in the Hamptons way. They were laughing, his arm around her waist, looking perfect together. Except someone had drawn a red X through the woman's face, and written underneath in Korean characters that Nia couldn't read but understood anyway. She's next.
Who is she?
Nia asked quietly. My fiancée. Sienna. She's... Min-Jae paused, something unreadable crossing his face. We're supposed to get married in 6 weeks. Political marriage. Business arrangement. Her father controls the East Coast distribution for my family's import operations. By import operations, you mean nothing you need to worry about unless you agree to help me. Help you do what, exactly? Min-Jae's eyes locked on hers. Make her disappear. Nia's blood went cold. Excuse me? Not like that. He actually laughed, dark, low, genuine. Christ, do you think I'm asking you to kill her? I need you to help me protect her by making everyone think she's gone. Vanished. Out of the picture. Literally. Why not just call off the wedding? Because if I do, the alliance falls apart. If the alliance falls apart, people die. A lot of people. This marriage is the only thing keeping a very fragile peace between very violent organizations. He ran a hand through his hair, and Nia noticed it was shaking, just slightly. But someone in my organization doesn't want this marriage to happen, and they will kill Sienna to stop it unless I can convince everyone she's already gone. So you need me to, why, stage her disappearance, fake her death. I need you to make everyone believe she walked away willingly, that she couldn't handle this life, that she's finding herself in Europe or Bali or wherever white women go to have existential crises. His mouth quirked. You're the best crisis manager in New York. You've made senators' mistresses disappear from headlines. You've turned felonies into misunderstandings. This is what you do. For celebrities, not for... Nia gestured vaguely at him, at the office, at everything. This, I'll pay you $2 million. The number hit her like a physical thing. Up front, Min-Jae continued. Another 3 when it's done. And... He stepped closer, and suddenly the air in the room was thinner. I'll owe you a favor. An unlimited, no questions asked, one-time favor from someone who can make almost anything happen. Nia's mind raced. $5 million. Financial freedom. The ability to walk away from morally bankrupt clients forever. Start her own firm. Help her little brother with his medical bills. But, why me? She asked. There are other PR people. Better connected ones. Because you're not connected. Because you're an outsider who understands how to navigate insider spaces. Because you're black, and everyone in my world is going to underestimate you, which means they won't see you coming. He took another step closer. Too close. Deliberately too close. And because when I researched you, I realized something. What? You're like me. You do what's necessary, not what's comfortable. You understand that sometimes the only way to save someone is to destroy who they were before. The accuracy of that statement made Nia's chest tight. "There's another reason," Min-Jae added, his voice dropping lower. "But I don't think you're ready to hear it yet. Try me." His eyes traveled over her face slowly, deliberately, like he was memorizing her. "From the moment I saw your photograph in a Forbes article about crisis management, I knew I wanted to meet you. And when you walked into this room 30 seconds ago, I knew I was right. Right about what? That you were going to completely ruin my life in the best possible way." The statement hung between them like smoke and gasoline, one spark, away from burning everything down. Nia should have walked out, should have laughed in his face, should have done literally anything except what she did next. "I want $4 million up front," she heard herself say, "and the favor in writing." Min-Jae's smile was slow, dangerous, absolutely devastating. "Done. And I want to meet Sienna. Tonight. If I'm doing this, I need to know what I'm working with. She's upstairs, in the private lounge. I'll take you." As they walked back through the club, Annika materialized at Nia's elbow, eyes wide. "Are you okay? You were gone for 20 minutes. I was about to call the FBI. I'm fine. Better than fine. I just made a terrible decision that's going to pay extremely well." "That's literally your life motto." "I know. It's worked so far." Upstairs, in a lounge that looked like heaven's VIP section, Sienna sat alone on a white leather couch, scrolling her phone. She looked up when they entered, and Nia immediately understood why someone would marry her for political reasons. Sienna Chen, because of course her last name was Chen. Old money Asian American elite, was objectively gorgeous. Blonde, dyed, expertly blue-eyed, with the kind of bone structure that suggested good genes and better skin care. She wore a white silk dress that probably cost $4,000 in boredom that was absolutely free. "Sienna," Min-Jae said, "this is Nia Blackwood. She's going to help us." Sienna's eyes swept over Nia, calculating, cold, then suddenly warming with something like relief. "Oh, thank God. You're the PR fixer, right? The one who made that senator's revenge porn thing disappear?" "That was me. Can you make me disappear? Please? I'm so tired of being a political pawn that I'm considering actually dying just to avoid the wedding." Nia blinked. "That's concerningly honest." "I'm drunk." Sienna held up her martini. "And exhausted and terrified. Someone wants to kill me because I'm marrying a man I don't love to protect businesses I don't care about." She looked at Min-Jae. "No offense. None taken. I don't love you either." Healthy communication? Sienna turned back to Nia. "So can you do it? Make everyone think I ran away? But I need you to trust me completely. No second guessing. No contact with anyone from your old life. You'll have to become someone else for a while." "Perfect. I've been practicing." Sienna stood up, swaying slightly. "I'm already halfway to having an identity crisis. This just makes it official." Despite everything, Nia liked her. "Okay," Nia said, her mind already building the plan. "We have 6 weeks. Here's what we're going to do." 3 weeks later. The plan was working perfectly. Too perfectly. Which is how Nia ended up in Min-Jae's penthouse at midnight, drinking whiskey that cost more than her rent, watching security footage of someone breaking into Sienna's secret safe house in Queens. "That's yay," Min-Jae said, pointing at the screen. His voice was calm, but his hand was clenched around his glass hard enough to crack it. "My cause. My father's favorite nephew. The one person I thought I could trust. He's the leak. He's the threat." On screen, Ye moved through Sienna's apartment with ease, clearly not his first time there. He went straight to her bedroom, opened her laptop, started copying files. "He's looking for proof she's still alive," Nia said. "If he finds it, the entire plan falls apart. The alliance breaks, and people die." Min-Jae set down his glass. "I need to handle this. Tonight." "Handle it how?" He looked at her, really looked at her. And Nia saw it, the violence he kept leashed, the darkness he dressed in expensive suits, the part of him that made him dangerous in ways that had nothing to do with his face. "You should go home," he said quietly. "What happens next, you don't want to see. but Nia didn't move. If I'm in this, I'm in this. All the way. So tell me, what are you going to do to your cousin? Min-Jae studied her for a long moment. Then, make him understand that betraying family has consequences. Meaning? Meaning I'm going to hurt him. Not kill him, he's still blood. But hurt him enough that he never forgets what happens when you threaten what's mine. Something in Nia's stomach twisted. Not fear, worse, attraction. Because she should have been horrified, should have run, should have remembered that this man was dangerous, that this world was deadly, that she was already in too deep. Instead, she heard herself say, "Then I'm coming with you." Min-Jae's eyes widened. "Nia, you brought me into this world. You paid me to be part of this. I don't get to cherry-pick the pretty parts and ignore the ugly ones." She stood, grabbed her jacket. "Besides, you might need an alibi. Lucky for you, I'm excellent at constructing narratives." For the first time since she'd met him, Min-Jae looked genuinely surprised. Then something else crossed his face, something heated, possessive, absolutely inappropriate given the circumstances. "You're not like anyone I've ever met," he said. "I know. It's my best and worst quality." They took his car, a black Audi that drove itself because of course it did, to Queens. The drive was silent, tense, electric. Nia could feel Min-Jae's energy coiling tighter with each mile, could see his hands flexing on the steering wheel, could sense the violence building under his skin. "Tell me something," she said, needing to break the silence. "Why does this matter so much? Sienna's not real to you. This marriage isn't real. Why risk everything to protect a business arrangement?" Min-Jae was quiet for so long she thought he wouldn't answer. Then, "My father built this organization from nothing. He came to America with $500 and a dream that was probably stupid but worked anyway. He created something that gave our family power, safety, options." He glanced at her. "Everything I do is to protect that legacy, even if it means marrying someone I don't love. Even if it means becoming someone I'm not sure I like." "And who are you, really?" Still figuring that out. His mouth curved, dark and sad. "But being around you makes me think maybe I could be someone better." Nia's heart did something complicated and inconvenient. They reached the safe house at 1 a.m. Min-Jae moved like liquid violence, silent, efficient, terrifying. He bypassed the security that he'd installed, unlocked the door that he had the key to, and stepped inside with Nia right behind him. Ye was still there, still at Sienna's laptop, still completely unaware that death had just walked through the door wearing Tom Ford. "Cousin," Min-Jae said quietly. Yi spun around, his hand going to his waistband, a gun, obviously, but Min-Jae was faster. Impossibly faster. He had GOA disarmed, on his knees, arm twisted behind his back in about 3 seconds. Min-Jae, Ye started. "Don't." Min-Jae's voice was ice. "Don't explain. Don't apologize. Just tell me who sent you, who wants Sienna dead." "I can't." Min-Jae twisted his arm harder. Yi screamed. Nia should have looked away, should have been horrified, should have remembered that violence was wrong, that this was illegal, that she was witnessing a felony. Instead, she watched, cataloged, understood. This was who Min-Jae really was, under the suits and the art galleries and the controlled exterior. This. And God help her, she wasn't scared. "Last chance," Min-Jae said. "A name." "It was Uncle," Ye gasped out. "Your father. He doesn't want this marriage. He thinks it makes us weak. He sent me to find proof Sienna's alive so he could—" He didn't finish because Min-Jae hit him. Once. Hard enough that Ye's head snapped back and he went limp. Not dead, just unconscious. Min-Jae stood there, breathing hard, his hands shaking again. Not from exertion, from rage. "Your father," Nia said quietly. "Your father is trying to kill your fiancée to stop a marriage he arranged. He's testing me." Min-Jae's voice was hollow. "Seeing if I'm strong enough to lead, if I'll choose duty over blood, if I'm ruthless enough to be his successor. That's insane. That's my family." They stared at each other across Ye's unconscious body, and Nia realized 2 things simultaneously. 1. She was absolutely catastrophically in over her head. 2. She didn't want to be anywhere else. "We need to move him," she said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "And we need to figure out our next move. Because if your father is the threat, then everyone I'm trying to protect is already dead." Min-Jae looked at her. "Unless we do something drastic." "Like what?" "Like making everyone, including my father, believe that Sienna isn't the only one who disappeared." Nia's blood went cold. "You want to fake your own death?" "No." Min-Jae stepped closer, and suddenly he was right there, inches away, close enough that she could see the gold flecks in his dark eyes, could feel the heat radiating off him, could smell violence and expensive cologne and something uniquely him. "I want to disappear with Sienna. Let everyone think we ran away together. Let them think I chose her over everything else. Let my father think he broke me. And then what? Then we rebuild, somewhere else, away from this." His hand came up, almost touching her face but stopping just short. "But I can't do it without you. I need you to sell the story. Make it believable. Make everyone think I was so in love, I burned my entire life down. Why would anyone believe that? You just said the marriage isn't real." "Because..." Min-Jae's voice dropped to almost a whisper. "When I'm with you, I can almost believe it myself." The confession hung between them, dangerous and electric. "Min-Jae," Nia started, not even sure what she was going to say, but she never got to finish because that's when Ye's phone lit up on the floor, showing an incoming call from a contact labeled simply, "Father." Min-Jae's father. The man who'd sent his nephew to find proof of Sienna's survival. The man who was testing his son's loyalty by threatening to kill an innocent woman. The man who, if he suspected Min-Jae knew about his betrayal, would probably kill them all. Min-Jae and Nia looked at each other. "We need to answer that," Nia said. "I know. And we need to make him believe everything is fine." "I know." And then Nia swallowed hard. "We need to disappear. Tonight. All of us." Min-Jae's hand finally closed the distance, cupping her face gently, despite the violence still thrumming through him. "You don't have to do this. You can walk away. Take the money. Forget you ever met me. Is that what you want?" His thumb brushed her cheekbone and Nia felt it everywhere. "No. What I want is completely inappropriate and probably illegal in several states." Despite everything, Nia laughed. "You're terrible at timing. I'm aware." The phone kept ringing. "We should answer that," Nia said, not moving. "We should," Min-Jae agreed, also not moving. They stood there, frozen in a moment that was equal parts terror and inevitability, knowing that once they answered that phone, once they set this plan in motion, everything would change. Nia had spent her entire life being careful, being strategic, playing it safe while looking like she was taking risks. This was an actual risk. This was jumping off a cliff and hoping someone had invented parachutes. "Okay," she said finally, "let's burn it all down." Min-Jae's smile was absolutely devastating. "That's my girl." Not yet, Nia thought, but maybe soon. He picked up the phone, and everything changed. What happens when Min-Jae answers his father's call? How do they pull off the disappearance? And will Nia and Min-Jae's dangerous attraction become something real, or destroy them both? If you're hooked and need part 2, immediately smash that like button, subscribe so you don't miss what happens next, and drop a comment telling me, Team Min-Jae or Team Nia, run. Let me know below. Part 2 drops soon, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. See you there. Sigh.